the recommendations. Mr. Parker, you asked to have there.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to speak on an issue tonight from inside as a former planning staff member. There are misleading allegations opposed to facts surrounding the zoning ordinance update, and most recently in the resignation of Commissioner Barnes. After hearing his comments, it's apparent that either he's been misinformed as to the actual recommendations of professional planning staff, or that he's knowingly supported an agenda driven by personal biases. The primary misconception is that county staff supported the writing of a new zoning ordinance. Only one planning staff member pressed for a new ordinance with new zoning districts. The rest of staff, individually and collectively, did not agree. We wanted to update our current ordinance and fix what we know needs fixing. A consultant from Blacksburg was contracted to write Article 2 definitions and Article 3 district regulations. When she finished, staff had to edit her copy and paste exercise to remove all references of the town of Blacksburg and Montgomery County. She apparently implied that what was good for Blacksburg and Montgomery County was good for Bedford County. And the language had not been simplified, but was now more restrictive and much too complicated, even for staff to understand. Also, there were negative consequences with implementing new zoning districts to replace existing districts. Naming zoning districts is a total rezoning of the entire county, wiping the slate clean. All of the rezonings and amendments that have taken place under the current ordinance become pointless. And it is a start over on all previous subdivisions of land. Every existing parcel becomes a brand new parent parcel. Child lots become parent lots and can be further subdivided up to the maximum allowance for each new zoning district. This fact alone is a game changer that would undermine the county's comprehensive plan and agricultural land preservation. Staff expressed that we were wasting time on new zoning districts that were never going to work. Planning Commission and the board were going around in circles, with some members realizing that what we have is better than anything being proposed. We recommended tossing out the proposed districts and adding definitions and new uses to the existing districts. Our concerns and opinions were completely disregarded, and we were to finish writing Articles 4 and Articles 5 for the new ordinance. And we were to understand that the new ordinance was going to be the Bedford County zoning ordinance. We were also informed that staff recommends to Planning Commission recommends to the board, and that there was no reason for the board to talk with staff or staff to talk with the board. It was planning staff that became the most frustrated with this process after attending separate Planning Commission work sessions and board work sessions. What was actually said at a work session and what was repeated after the work session back to staff or to the other respective board was not one and the same. It also appeared that Planning Commission was oblivious to the unintended consequences of starting over. Staff was extremely relieved when the board decided not to pursue the new zoning ordinance, but Planning Commission was led to believe otherwise. In turn, the board's decision to update the current ordinance was met with irritation, resistance, and continuous opposition. Also, Mr. Barnes alleges that the board has made it extremely difficult for staff to be objective advisors because a disagreement might result in some drastic action which impairs their effectiveness. To the contrary, staff's not been allowed to communicate or provide information to either board without the censorship of their respective managers. Unfortunately, staff's fear of drastic action for giving their professional advice comes within their own department. Differing from Mr. Barnes' perspective, one heck of a mess was created by deliberately hiding staff's professional input while playing both boards against each other. This collusion and misrepresentation has been a blatant conspiracy against the public, the Board of Supervisors, and at least most of the Planning Commission. That's all I have to say on that, unless somebody else wants to comment. Oh, one note for the record is our Community Development Director did not come to Bedford County until January of 2011, after all this was in play.
Okay, any other comments?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Yes, since Mrs. Parker brought that up, just for clarity, when this process started 3 years ago, this board and I, one of these members, clearly discussed and said that we should fix what we have. We know that we have problems that had come about from 1998 to 2010. We clearly wanted to look at what the problems were, and then we wanted to fix them by simplification. I don't know, since it's been brought up, how all of the misperception has come and why it has come, but I do know this has just been an exercise in simplification. We have not changed anything that drastically. We have, again, simplified. One of the things that's been of greatest resistance is changing the lots to 1 acre. What people fail to talk about when we drop that to 1 acre to give ownership rights to the people that may only want to give 1 acre to their children is it's still the same amount of cuts. That's preservation. I mean, if you have forced to give 3 acre lots and you can give up 1 acre, then you've saved 2 acres. I mean, it's just so simple. I don't understand what has happened, why it has come down to this, but it's unfortunate that it has. But I am convinced that we are doing the thing that we were set out to do, that we're doing the right thing. Edmund is my good friend back there, and there's no question about it. Edmund, you know I appreciate you. You know that. And we've had conversations many, many times. But we are not doing anything to anyone. We have just simplified and dealt with problems that we know that we have. It's just that simple. So for what it's worth, I thought I might throw that in.